the free agent class of 2021.
George Springer, best leadoff man in the game.
Long gone by Ozuna. Go, baby! Go, baby!
Trevor Bauer, kind of that dark horse, that ace in your back pocket.
DJ, who's been the best player all year.
By far, to me, the last 2 years, the best catcher in baseball.
With all these guys out there, we have our little device. We've got our free agent slot machine.
Yes, we do. I'm excited about this, gentlemen. We are about to find guys new homes, the free agent slot machine in December. Let's give it a spin and see where it lands first. The timing of this is interesting because we don't know exactly what the season may look like. Up first is...
Ozzy! 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 Ozzy!
I know this pains you, Matty B, but a 4.72 over 8 seasons in his 20s, sub-2 in each of his last 2 seasons. Harold, where does Liam Hendriks end up?
Well, I'll tell you what, who could use him right away, right now, as they start rebuilding that bullpen, is the Phillies. Now, I think Jackie Bradley coming on the scene may give him a little competition, but I got him going to the Phillies, and I think that's a great move, Matt. Where you got him?
I agree, Harold. The Phillies need to be prepared now to overpay for a guy like Liam Hendriks. And this is the trap when you make the kind of commitment the Phillies made to Bryce Harper. And I'm not saying it was a bad one because Bryce Harper is one of the elite players in the sport. But when you do that, you have to keep spending to complement the shelf. That's something that the Angels haven't done around Mike Trout yet. So the burden is on the Phillies to keep spending more money, and they've got to fix that bullpen. But I would end it with this. You know, it's not just the bullpen the last 2 years. That their starters have been crummy, too, and that's made the bullpen worse. So it's a whole pitching equation with the Phillies that needs to be reworked.
I just remember his early days. Toronto shipped him to Kansas City and then back. And the last 2 years, he's been a different guy. Who's next? Spinning the slot machine, getting stuff done, finding new homes. And it lands on...
Didi Gregorius conecta un jonrón con las bases llenas, un salami.
We're adding new elements to the slot machine this year. I like it. Last year was weird. $14 million for 60 games. Of course, nobody expected that. H, where does Sir Didi land this year?
Send him back to the Yankees. I moved Gleyber Torres over to second base. I don't think they're going to land DJ LeMahieu. I think there's going to be so many teams seeking him that he'll end up somewhere else. I just think this is the best move for them.
Wow.
Okay, bear with me on this one. Bear with me on this one, Harold, because the Astros have a shortstop, and he's one of the best in baseball. But I think for the Astros to kind of reshape the next 5 years of their life, they need to take offers and seriously consider moving Carlos Correa. So I've long advocated Correa to the Mets and then sign a free agent stopgap like a Didi Gregorius. So I'm saying to Houston goes Sir Didi, but there are other moves that need to be made first.
You're moving Correa and Harold moving DJ LeMahieu. It's interesting.
Yeah.
10 home runs, 40
We're
RBI
reckless.
during his only season with the Phils, by the way. We are reckless. So we decided the fate of 2 players. Another spin. Up next on the free agent slot machine.
Jock Peterson is out of this world.
What a postseason for him. Shined on the grandest stage, hit 382 during the post. H, where's Jock going?
Well, Jock is one of the guys I talked about in the A block that never got a chance to really develop. He was a hit 330, 30-30 stolen base guy in minor league baseball. And then he gets to the big leagues and they say, oh, you can't hit a lefty. I'm sending him to Atlanta. I'm putting him in left field, and I'm saying play every day, and you're going to fit great with that club, with that team. And I think he would be a nice addition to the Braves. Matt, you're up.
Oh, I almost like your suggestion better than mine because if Nick Markakis is gone, there's a left-handed bat that needs to be replaced. That's pretty good. I was just thinking about teams that could use a younger power bat that isn't an old veteran who would just be a stopgap. And the Tigers came to mind for that because Peterson is still young enough to where he could grow into when the Tigers are good again. And that may be a year plus, 2 years plus down the road. And I'm just kind of connecting dots that way. So I send him to Detroit.
Keith says Cardinals, by the way, and they would fit under your category, Matt, of needing a young bat. By the way, joining the conversation at home, hashtag MLBN Hot Stove. One more spin of the free agent slot machine to determine someone's fate and their future. It lands on
Tommy Boy, going yard.
Played most of his career for Joe Madden. This is an interesting one indeed. Harold, who you got?
Well, he did play great with the Angels. I look at this guy more of a utility guy. I'd send him to the National League, but I'm sending him back to Oakland. I thought that he had an opportunity with the A's there. He fit with that club. So I'll send him back and really see what he can do. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up. This is one of those guys that I think is going to have a lot more options than most people think. All right, Matt, I send him back to your old club. What are you doing with him?
Well, we'll ask Chad Pinder when he comes on the show later what he thinks about you costing him more at-bats by re-signing Tommy La Stella. I'm going to keep him in the AL West, and I'm going to send him to the Rangers. I know, Harold, you love Rougned Odor. That's your guy. But dude strikes out an awful lot, and Tommy La Stella doesn't. He would be the perfect complement, if not replacement, if that ship has already sailed in Arlington, which I believe the boat is already prying itself out of the dock. La Stella to Arlington.
Yeah, they just owe Rougned so much more money, and I'm with you. It's time to maybe move on beyond him. He just hasn't performed under this long contract. Not a bad move. Not a bad move, La Stella there.
Hey, I think we have a little time, Lauren. Can you spin it one more time, just because I think there's a little time left in this segment based on my
Here we go.
watch.
This show stinks today.
So you got work to do. Got a lot of work to do, my friend.
Yeah.
Do they have the wherewithal to bring him back? Given the plight of their finances right now, and they have a historically bad. Bless you.
They should have won. Excuse me. True. They should have won. Sorry.